ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. Hey there, hi there, ho there. How are you guys? Welcome to Blah. King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am still rusty.
He is still rusty. All right, so I'm going to start this by giving you guys a big mea culpa. I really thought we were in Austin last week. We will actually be in Austin this week, starting Thursday. So there you go. Now, the one thing that I
won't be able to
do...
make it until Friday, but I'll be there.
Yeah, I got you. The one thing we do want to show is that's the new poster, which is nice. So that should get everybody excited. Oh, shoot. You know what I did? I forgot. I had a big 24 by 36 printed of the new poster.
Oh, for the wall.
Yeah. I need to get it back there. I'll do that for the next one. Maybe I'll take it on the road
Yeah, I'd like
with me.
one, too, if you could get another one.
Yeah. They're very nice. I think Jamie's already in the house. I think maybe there might be some other folks. And we appreciate you guys being here. Okay, so we are at Season 7, Episode 19, or in the year of our Lord 7 ABE 12, Be True to Your Fool. This came out Sunday, April 13th, 2003. Bill spreads lice to Hank, Dale, and Boomhauer. When Hank gets his head shaved, he's surprised to discover he has a tattoo on his scalp.
And this is actually episode 145.
145. Wow,
145.
That's good. Directors of this are Anthony Leoy, maybe?
Yeah.
And Clay Hall. And then writers, of course, Judge Daniels and Dan McGrath.
Anthony Leoy actually worked on quite a bit of King of the Hill. He worked on stuff in Season 2, Season 3, Season 4. Season 4, he pretty much was a retake director for the entire season. Yeah. And then he did a little bit of stuff, Season 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then he worked on Avatar, The Last Airbender, American Dad, and The Cleveland Show. And then Dan McGrath worked on some Saturday Night Live stuff, The Simpsons, Mission Hill, and the animated.
I know the Dan McGrath name.
The PJs.
Yeah. One of the people that I'm really extremely excited to talk to is the new showrunner for the new show. Yeah. Just because that is a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Yeah, I really can't wait to speak to him too.
14 seasons, or 13 seasons, I guess, and now you got 2 more coming up, and you're responsible. That's got to be a ton of weight.
Yeah, did he ever get back to you?
No, their publicist did. Yeah.
What did their publicist say?
Well, they getting us in line, So we'll see. Yeah, they don't promise you anything.
No, they can't. Yeah.
They really can't. I can't imagine the amount of people that are going to be there. All right, so it is. This is a great little fast-moving episode. Not a ton of characters in it, honestly.
No, not a whole lot.
If you don't count the people in jail, then there's only like 6 people in this whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's really really small, character set.
I do kind of like how gross Bill is in this, though.
Yeah, Bill's pretty nasty.
He's pretty gross in this one. Yeah,
I mean, he's usually gross,
hey, Luke,
but this one is like over the top gross. Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
All right, so we start in the Hill house, and Hank is on the couch. Lady Bird's laying right there next to him, and of course, Hank is watching golf. I have never been a guy who watched golf. unless I just really wanted to sleep.
The one that puts me to sleep is baseball.
Yeah, it's the same thing for the most part. I can watch a few innings of baseball, but golf almost immediately makes me very woozy.
As long as they're moving the camera around a lot and going from different golfers, I can watch it. I just can't just watch one golfer golf.
I think it's the whispering too.
I like the hitting.
You know?
Well, that's what that LIV.
He's
the LIV golf.
Is that the Saudi Arabian one?
I don't know if it's
or
Saudi.
whatever.
I don't know if the Saudis had anything to do with it, but I know it was a more exciting version of golf.
Oh, okay.
They played, walkout music.
Like tackle each other?
Like, no tackling. It was just like
you could tackle, but
more
only on
of a brosphere. They broed it up a little bit,
Let's see. Jamie says he only goes to White Sox games for the beers. Yeah, I get that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Luke also says soccer, tennis, golf, baseball.
I think there's cheaper ways to get drunk.
Soccer's tough on me, man. Soccer, oof, boy, that's rough. Luke says it's garbage. I'm not going to go that far.
I like soccer. I can watch soccer and I can watch tennis because they're both pretty active sports.
Tennis is pretty active.
Golf and baseball is just not active enough.
When I was a kid, my family and I used to watch a lot of tennis. I don't know why, but because we weren't certainly not built to play tennis.
My mom loves tennis.
But anyway, he's on the couch and he's watching some golf, and we hear the announcer. He approaches the green. He thinks better of it and backs away 2 steps, 3 steps. And Hank is just like, he is totally into this thing, right? He starts inching up on the thing, getting closer and closer to the TV. He goes, "Oh, wake up, girl. You don't want to miss all the excitement." He's trying to wake up his damn dog so the dog doesn't miss the golf excitement.
Like the dog gives a damn.
And then you hear the announcer one more time. Wesley Tongue is now 3 inches from the putting surface. Electrifying, heart-pounding. That grass was topped a few days ago, but it's still a bit thick. A terrible challenge. And then you kind of hear out in the alley, very faintly, you hear, "Hank, help me, help, Hank." He goes, "I'm just hearing things, right, girl?" Talking to Lady Bird. And then you hear the announcer again on TV. "This is an absolutely critical chip." And then again, out in the alley, you hear, "Please, Hank, help. Bill, help, help." And you hear, "Not again." And now he knows that he is actually hearing Bill. He goes over. He opens the door. That's when he says, "Not again," when he sees that Bill is on the floor with his head caught underneath his own couch. Now,
did he get lice from underneath his own couch?
No. He explains the lice here in a second, and it's grosser than that. But he goes, "Hey, help me, Hank, I'm trapped." And he lifts the couch up off of his head, which doesn't seem like a terrible feat. Like it doesn't seem like it takes a lot of strength to do what he did.
No, not at all.
Bill just has zero strength. Is that the deal?
Maybe from the ground.
Because his couch can't be that heavy.
Well, maybe laying.
Yeah, maybe.
Like how he was.
He comes up and he's got
candy.
Have
the leverage, maybe.
That's true. He's got candy and lint and crap all stuck to his face. One of them's just a sucker stuck on his face. He says, "Thanks, buddy. I was looking for change under there and I got stuck." That's the only explanation, and the fact that Hank has said this has happened before. He goes, "I'm ordering a pizza." He goes, "You hungry?" He goes, "No, and don't bring it to my house." And he leaves. Bill takes the sucker off of his face and starts licking it, which is just super gross.
Yeah, it's tough. That's pretty
super
nasty.
Gross. Now we're in the alley with all 4 guys, and they all tend to be scratching their heads a little bit.
They're all getting itchy. Yeah, they got the lice bugs.
And you hear Dale, "A gushing geyser of golf greatness. Wouldn't you agree, Hank? Oh, I forgot. You missed it. All told, a treasury of golden golf memories, but only for those who actually saw the storied golf." He's just sticking it to Hank.
I got a fun fact about the bubonic plague in relation to lice. Okay, so around the time in the Middle Ages, they related cats and stuff like cats to witchcraft and stuff like that.
Sure.
So they started killing a lot
of the cats. Which I still do, but yeah.
Yeah. So they started killing a lot of the cats. Well, as they killed the cats, the mice population got out of control. And when the mouse population got out of control of the rat population, that's when it allowed the bubonic plague to spread a little easier.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
By lice.
We just had a big cat kerfuffle here in town. Did you hear about that?
No.
They found 2 dead skinned cats up on power lines downtown here. Like somebody just threw them up there.
That's crazy.
And everybody freaked out. And I understand that it is a sign of a sociopath to be able to do those kind of things.
That's pretty sociopathic.
But This is in the same newscast where they told me about like 5 murders that happened in town.
Yeah, 5 murders happened.
And so I'm like,
cat on the wire.
Maybe tamp it down just a bit for the cats. But apparently they think it's 2 Baylor students that did it, which makes total sense to me because they're dumb and young and full of cat killing.
Wow, that's a big scandal for old Baylor.
I can see that being bigger than the Title IX stuff. So.
Yeah, it might be.
Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. All right, so he's out there just kind of sticking it to Hank, letting him know that he was not able to see the golf. He goes, "You officially owe me one memorable sports moment. Dang it, lately my scalp's been itching like crazy." So he's telling Bill that he owes him a sports moment. And then the secondary part is he's just talking about his scalp itching. We hear Dale say, "You too? I thought my spider sense was tingling to warn me of danger. Unless we both have spider sense." Yeah, Dale, that's what happened. You both have spider sense.
Yeah.
Bill says, "Finally, we can talk about something besides who ruined whose golf watching day. My scalp is itchy too." It's lice, I mean, it's this huge pregnant pause.
That is a huge pregnant pause.
It's just like, my scalp is itchy too. It's lice,
It's lice,
Boomhauer.
Like he wouldn't tell everybody beforehand or just not come hang out with everybody until he got
That's
it
what
fixed.
I'm saying. The whole story comes out here in just a second.
It's disgusting.
Boomhauer's like, "Wait, no, man." He goes, "There's a lady in town who does lice treatment for school kids. She's so pretty. So I stuck my arms into a big pile of hair. We cut off some new recruits, and those little critters, they just hopped right aboard me. If any of you guys know a better way to meet a lice lady, I'd like to hear it. A lice lady."
There's probably about 1,000 better ways to meet the lice lady than sticking your arms in lice.
That is a great story, though. That is so funny.
Licencious.
Dale said, "You gave us all lice, you disgusting he-freak." Boomhauer and Dale run off. He goes, "Hi, Hank." And he's trying to just keep Hank around. And Hank kind of goes, and he runs off also. Next thing we see is Hank, Dale, and Boomhauer are in one of their bathrooms, and all of them have shampoo on their heads. It's all worked up and lathered, so they got the big puffy heads. And Boom is I'm sorry, they're in Boomhauer's bathroom, and Dale is over there like playing with the bidet, number one. But Dale says, "Boomhauer, your bathroom is gorgeous. Can I bring Nancy by tonight after dinner?" Just to show her the bathroom.
Just to show her his bathroom.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Hank says, "Okay, everybody, heads in the tub." And he puts their heads in the tub, and he showers them all off, right, to get the lice out or get the shampoo out, we find out. He goes, "Now, according to the label, all the lice should be dead, and our hair should be bouncy and manageable. So how's everybody feel?" And then they start itching real, real hard, There's several of those pregnant pauses in here that they use for the punchlines of jokes, and they're all really well-timed. Like, it's really good stuff.
Oh, yeah, there's some really good jokes.
Boomhauer says, "Man, dang old bunkered in, man. Talk about clean out now, man. I got no dang into this stuff, man." And then Dale picks up the toilet brush and starts scrubbing his head and going, "Die, die, die." Then we go over to the alley. We've got all 3 of the guys there, no Bill. And you hear, "Yep. Mm-hmm." And he's just rolling on the ground, Dale is, just scratching his head so hard. He goes, "Pull it together, Dale. I don't want to have to put the plastic cone around your neck," which pays off here in just a little bit.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, no kidding. Now we're at the Hill House around the breakfast table. It's
this is one of my favorite scenes in this episode.
Hank and
here.
Peggy.
Yeah. Oh, so I am. Yeah.
Peggy says, "Hank, lice are nothing to be ashamed of. If it's nothing, why are you still wearing your shower cap?" She goes, "Am I? No. Why? Oh, so I am." That is so funny. I'll just take it off when I go outside, where it'll be easier to take it off. Yeah, we know exactly what you're doing, lady.
Take it off.
She
needs all that room, yeah.
"That god dang Bill, ever since Lenore left him, I've done nothing but cut him slack. He sleeps on my car. He's always stealing Lady Bird's squeaky toys." Why would he steal her squeaky toys?
Yeah,
that part I
really
didn't
that
understand.
Yeah, that one's
remember when he kept a chamber pot by his bed? These stories about Bill, they're just so
they get worse.
Wildly weird. He's got a chamber pot. He's stealing a dog's squeaky toys. And then he says he keeps burying his porno in our backyard. Why is he burying it?
Yeah,
I don't understand that either.
His behaviors are troubling.
He goes, I can't put up with it forever. It ends today. We now go to what would normally be all the guys standing in the alley. However, the 3 main guys, with the exception of Bill, are standing on this side of Hank's fence. Bill is still out in the alley.
I wouldn't even let him in the alley. I'd be like, man, you got to get out of here.
Well, he is so separated for them, right?
Not even so separated. Go stand behind your house.
Yeah, I don't want that shit. No,
get the hell out of here, dude.
Else.
No, well, like you said, burying pornos in his yard.
Burying pornos.
Always saying,
the one that gets me is the chamber pot.
The chamber pot.
He keeps a chamber pot by his bed. How did that affect Hank?
Well, not only that, the weird innuendo towards his wife. Like this dude is. I mean, he saved you from getting your ass kicked one time. That doesn't exonerate him.
I guess that means that Bill's just
lifetime of being a piece of shit.
I guess that means that Bill was just taking a shit in a bowl next to his bed. Is that what he was doing?
Yeah,
I mean, it has to be, right? That's what a chamber pot is.
Or he was just getting really drunk and needed somewhere to piss. And didn't want to have to get out of bed, I guess.
Anyway, we're in the backyard with Hank and Dale
and
Boomhauer, and then we got Bill all the way across the street at the other fence, and you hear, yep. And then Bill from back, yep. Just he's so far away from him. Hank says, well, the lice lady's booked up for weeks. Big epidemic at this Club Scout Jamboree. That's a good joke. She says she's the only thing we can do is shave our heads. Dale says, ding, better idea. As an exterminator, I will take steps to spare us the shame of hairlessness. He pulls his cone down. So he did have the freaking cone on.
He actually had a cone on.
He pulls it down, so now it's going up like this, instead of out.
Like a collar.
He goes, a mixture of malathion and lanolin, fairly harmless according to the government, which has been squirting it at you for most of your life.
I actually looked those up.
Yeah.
So malathion actually is it can treat head lice.
Okay.
But it's a organophosphate insecticide used to control a variety of insects, including mosquitoes, and is also found in some products for indoor pest control. It is a broad spectrum insecticide.
There you go.
Lindane is a gamma hexachlorocyclohexane.
Oh my God!
Which is an organochlorine insecticide that was used to treat head lice and scabies.
Scabies.
It's a neurotoxin.
If you had scabies on your bingo card, you win.
Yeah, it says here. Lindane has been banned or restricted in many countries due to concerns about its neurotoxicity and potential long-term health effects.
That's like Roundup for your head.
I'm going to tell you that America's probably not one of those countries.
Probably not. Probably not.
I would guess not. I don't know,
while he's talking about these chemicals, he picks up his big sprayer, right, with the hose on it. The kind you have to pump up
sprayer,
or whatever.
Yeah.
I forget what they call those. I've got a couple of them at the house.
They're called pump sprayers.
Pump sprayers. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think I'm
no, that's what I would call it.
That's what That's what I've noted it as my whole life.
And so he says the government's been squirting it at you all your life. And he goes, "Dang it, Dale! I don't like the whole head shaving thing either." But he goes, "Yep." And then that came from Bill way across the alley. He goes, "Get lost, Bill. Observe." And he says, "Simple enough." Starts spraying himself with this mixture of chemicals, right?
Which is awful.
He goes, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And tingling, and burning. Itching, burning, and blindness, intense burning. Hank, get your hose! And he falls to the ground. He goes, now, Hank, now! And he just starts spraying him off. Dale's rolling on the ground. Boomhauer comes over with an ice chest and dumps it on his head. And then
it's pretty bad, dumping some
it's rough, man.
Chemicals on your body and letting it burn you.
I can't imagine that hexa whatever you said is gonna come off with just simple water either. That's it. It probably reacts to water, kind of like the captation in a like a jalapeno or something. It reacts to water.
Yeah. You never know.
But Bill has been watching this whole thing, and he goes, "Oh, I want to play lawn games too, but nobody wants Bill's head on their lawn. Oh no, Bill has lice. He's no good. Blippity blippity blue. I suck." Yeah, Bill, that's pretty much what they're saying. That's pretty much it.
Bill,
spray wand.
You suck.
Spray
Bill.
gun. Yep. I agree with you on both of those. I just always thought it was a fancier name for some reason.
He's the kind of guy that wakes up at 3 a.m. and grabs 2 Kraft singles out of the fridge and wraps a cold hot dog up and just goes to town.
Well, I don't know that I would down those guys too hard because yours truly may have done that before. Jordan Linville, I finally caught you guys. We're glad you're here, Jordan.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Glad you're
Next
here.
scene we see is at the liquor trunk. Now, this is a business in town. Am I mistaken if I say the liquor trunk is what replaced the bookstore that
the liquor
Peggy
trunk
worked at?
Replaced the bookstore.
If I'm not mistaken, the liquor trunk is what replaced Peggy's bookstore.
Yeah. I don't know if it was was it the liquor trunk?
I thought it was the liquor trunk because he
some
puts
kind
up
of
that
liquor
banner
name
at the end, right?
Yeah, some kind of liquor store. Yeah.
If not, it should have been. We're at the liquor trunk. The guy at the cash register says, you usually get a case. Bill comes up. He's buying a 6-pack by himself. He goes, that's back when I had friends to share beer with. Can I drink here? Cashier's like, nope.
Can I drink here?
That's actually like a
that's a low.
It's a low, but it's a crime to drink on the premises of a liquor store or even like a 7-Eleven or anything like that.
Especially in Texas.
Yes, very much so. Well, everything's a crime in Texas now. All of a sudden, Bill. The next thing we see, Bill is down to his.
Everything's illegal here.
Yep, Bill's down to his last beer. He's stumbling around. He's obviously pretty drunk. And he goes, just you and me, mailbox. And then he opens up the mailbox. He stumbles into it, opens up the front of the mailbox. It's like one of the big ones, He opens it up, starts pouring beer into it. He goes, there you go, buddy. And then a cop comes around the corner. He goes, sir, you can't do that. He goes, oops, I'm sorry, Fuzzy. He goes, all right, sir, time to come downtown. He knows he's got a drunk on his hands just wandering around.
I like this scene right here, too. I got a 149 on a 344.
He goes, I got a 149 on a 344. And this guy, the cop that drives up is there like instantly. Like, he's just right there.
He was like right on the block. Yeah.
He goes, did you catch the Northside burglar? He goes, no, he's a drunk. It's a 149, a burglary, Doug. You said 149? Oh, I thought you said I got the burglar. Even Bill goes, no, he said a 149. Sorry, I'm a little drunk. The next thing we see is Hank sitting in the Hill kitchen. It's Bobby, it's Hank, and it's Peggy. And Hank's head's all lathered up, ready to be shaved. And he is going to trust Peggy with a straight razor to shave his head.
Which is kind of drastic.
That seems like you're committing suicide. And so
I don't think you need a straight razor, though, to shave.
No.
To shave your hair.
But I think she answers
I think that just like shaving it would have sufficed. It's not like his hair's long anyway.
No, but I think she answers it when she says, I have always wanted to use one of these. So I think it's her idea because she wants to use one. Yeah.
And now she's going to fillet the backside of his head.
He's going to take the damn skin off his head.
Little filet min Hank.
Hank says, Bobby, don't you have something better to do than watch this? He goes, oh, right. Like I'm supposed to go do my homework when my dad is getting his head shaved. I mean, this is the biggest show in town as far as Bobby's concerned.
Everybody's excited right now.
Hank says, let's get this done. It'll be one less thing to remind me of Bill. The phone rings. Hank, of course, answers, and Bill is on the other end of it. And he goes, Hank, thank God you're home. He goes, well, where the hell else would I be? I'm sitting here getting my head shaved thanks to you. He goes, I'm in jail. I fed a mailbox. I only get one phone call, and I called you, my bestest, oldest friend in the world. You have to come down here. Hank just goes, nope. And he hangs up on him. He goes, you're my and then he gets pushed into the cell with a bunch of what he thinks are criminals, bad guys, whatever, right? These guys that have been taken into a cell.
People who are in jail.
Yeah, he's a little scared. Now we see Dale and Boomhauer in the alley, and they're bald. He's talking to Boomhauer, and he goes, oh, Nancy shaved me. She did my armpits, too. I feel so clean. Hank, Boomhauer.
He didn't have to do his armpits, but he did. Yeah,
he goes, Hank, Boomhauer and me are shaved. Are you shaved yet, Hank? Just like keeping up with the fact that he shaved his head or not. Now we're back in the kitchen. Peggy is shaving Hank's head, and she says, oh, Hank, you're going to look so awfully studly when I'm through. And Hank, and she sees part of a tattoo on the back of Hank's head, which is wild to me that you don't know that that's there.
You don't even know it's there.
Even the story that they tell, honestly, is not enough for me to understand how this happened.
I don't have tattoos, but I know the next day you're going to feel it. So
that's what I'm saying.
How did he not know?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Okay, you were drunk when you got it, is what we find out, but you don't know that happened the next day because when he's sitting in the tattoo chair, the guy has to shave his head to do it.
Yeah, so it's still going to be shaved.
So you're going to wake up the next day and go, where the hell did my hair go? Or whatever. Yeah. And you never looked in a mirror.
You're going to have Bill on your back of your head.
You never looked in a mirror. Nobody ever said anything to you. And it never started itching or anything. I mean, because tattoos itch after a while. That's why you're supposed to keep them moist and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So she sees that and she goes, Hank, why have you never told me you have a tattoo? He goes, what? That's impossible. I don't have a... She goes, I am looking right at it. Who is she, huh? Your first love? Some roadhouse tramp? She shaves off the rest of it, and it just says the word Bill. And she goes, Bill? He goes, bah! And that is our first commercial break. We're going to take that real quick, and we will be
right back.
There he is. Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today.
Discover the world of luxury sex toys at Luxury Toy X and indulge in the ultimate pleasure experience. For years, we have been dedicated to the belief that sexuality and wellness are essential components of a happy and healthy life. With over 70,000 satisfied customers, we take pride in our ability to provide products that enhance your sexual well-being. Join our community of satisfied customers and unlock a world of pleasure and self-discovery. Visit luxurytoyx.com today.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Shopping is hard, right? But I found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. I just give my stylist my size, style, and budget preferences. I order boxes when I want and how I want. No subscription required. And he sends just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations and styling tips. I keep what works and send back the rest. It's so easy. Make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Spotify. That's stitchfix.com/Spotify.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top-quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The number one thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
And we are back. So
we're back.
We left with Hank being very surprised that he has the name of one of his friends on the back of his head. And we start again at the Hill House. Hank is looking at it in the mirror, kind of using 2 mirrors to see the back of his head.
Yeah.
God dang it, how could this be? Get off me. She goes, Hank, it's tattoo. You cannot rub it off with a washcloth. He goes, God dang it, how does a man lose track of the back of his own head? Oh, a tattoo? I've been lying every time I donated blood.
That's funny. That's the first thing he's worried about. Yeah.
That's a really good joke. Now we're in the jail cell with Bill. And Bill's sitting there, and a guy comes over to him. You can tell that Bill is really depressed and scared and all this stuff. Guy comes over to him and goes, what's the matter, buddy? He goes, I'm the matter. I screw everything up. All my friends are mad at me because I gave them lice. He goes, you got lice? He goes, I also spit when I talk, and I fart when I spit. It's a lot of stuff happening.
That is a lot of stuff going on at once.
Well, that's what makes the world interesting. And, everybody in there agrees with him. Everybody in there is so affable. They're so nice to him.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's being mean or anything.
They love him.
Yeah.
He just wants to stay in jail all the time. All right. And then we see, okay, this is – I think this is the only time I've ever seen this, but Hank is walking up to Dale's door. He's wearing a duster, like a long trench coat, and a beanie on his head. I've never seen Hank in that.
He's trying to hide that.
He's trying to hide the
He's
whole
really
thing.
ashamed right now. Yeah.
He's very ashamed.
He's
now,
showing
why
a lot
duster?
of shame.
I don't know. And so Dale comes to the door and he goes, Hank, so you're the North Side burglar. Wait here a minute. Nancy, will you bring me a gun, please? What a request.
He's going to shoot him.
Yeah, knock it off, Dale. I need to ask you something serious. Now, can you remember any reason why any of us might have ever gotten a tattoo? He goes, what kind of tattoo? Like a barcode? Because that would point to the Rand Corporation. He goes, good night, Dale. And he just leaves. The next day, he's at the doctor, Hank is, because he's asking him about getting rid of this tattoo. The doctor says, Mr. Hill, I have to tell you, tattoo removal is very painful and time-consuming. Are you sure you can't work out things with this Bill? He goes, oh, I'm sure. Oh, come on, what do you do? Forget your anniversary? Look at another guy with a little more hair? He automatically thinks they're a couple. Hank says, Bill is he's not my anything. I don't even know how it got there. I just want it off my head now. Now we see Bill back in his cell, and he is telling stories.
Yeah, it's story time in the cell.
Yeah. He's like, sure, your fingers turn blue from the barbicide, but that's just part of the job. One of them says, you have a job? He goes, sure, got to pay the mortgage somehow. He goes, you got a house? He goes, well, yeah, I got it in a divorce. You were married? And so the original guy says, guess we got a nickname for you, Hollywood. Like, he's just got three basic things.
Yeah, that's the lowest common denominator that you have to be Hollywood.
Well, we know where Bill.
Oh, you got a job and a house. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we don't have any of those things.
Bill is one step from living in an alley. You know, I mean, just living in an alley full time.
He's not far from it. He's really close to the alley.
He's very close to the alley. We see Peggy and Hank walking up to Boomhauer's door. Hank has now got a bandage on the back of his head that just clearly covers the whole thing up. Yeah. He goes, and then Peggy's talking to him as they're walking up. She goes, well, if anyone can explain your tattoo, it'll be Boomhauer. He figured out it was Dale who was stealing your paper, remember? And Boomhauer actually opens the door before they even knock. Boomhauer says, hey, man, little old Hank, Peggy, hey, man, didn't even find a little skin art, did you, man? Dang old Hank, dang old wild man. They come inside. Peggy says, all right, Boomhauer, spill it. He's pouring whiskey for everybody or scotch or something.
Whatever
right?
he's pouring, yeah.
And he goes, tell you what, man, don't you go ahead and relax. Just sit down, Speck. I'm going to tell you a little story, man, about a long time ago when dang old Arlen far, far away. You know, talk about simpler time, you know, man, bunch of crazy kids. Now we go into a flashback. This is the first time, I believe, where Whataburger is spelt differently. Because on the sign here it says WHATTA burger.
Oh,
so this is What Top Burger. So I don't know if they got in trouble or what, but this is the first time that I can remember it being spelt differently. So we go into this flashback and we see Bill in an army suit. Girls are hugging him and kissing on him and stuff and telling him bye because he's about to ship out or whatever. I guess he's shipping out. And you hear he goes, no bell bottom, dangle, none of that disco sucks. Talking about back in the day, man. And then we hear from Hank as his younger self. These are all like the football playing
Every time I exercise my freedoms. Yeah.
He goes, I can't believe Bill joined up. Every time I exercise my freedoms, I'll think of him protecting them. You hear a girl tell Bill, I'll wait for you. And Hank says, boy, that's the third one today. Dale says, none of them are going to miss him more than me. And then Hank says, or me. And then, dang. And they're just all getting teary-eyed and stuff because Bill's shipping out. He goes, look at us, all mopey. This isn't kind of time to send off for a soon-to-be war hero. Next thing we see is they're in a car headed straight into Dallas because they're passing the sign that says entering Dallas. We hear from Dale.
Which is coming up, I guess, my dad told me that going back into Dallas back in the day when you were coming into Dallas, it would be like Commerce, right? Where you'd come up there.
Yeah.
That's like the main – because
Absolutely.
I-35 didn't really do everything that it does now and all that. And he said,
no, they've definitely added.
When you would come in, you would come on Commerce, and you would come up pretty much right there by the book depository.
Is Dallas where they were going when he told everybody to roll up their windows, lock the doors?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Debutantes and crackheads.
Debutantes and crackheads, that's right. So they're headed into Dallas, and you're just road trip, woo, Boomhauer, big old day, man. Here come party, Dallas. Can we see where Lee Harvey Oswald was framed? You hear Bill say, well, I just hope you fellas don't go and have too much fun while I'm gone. Hank says, well, we won't. This is the last night of fun we'll have till you get back. Now, I want to be the first one to buy the Army man a drink. They pass by a place, and it says the chainsaw on the outside. He goes, oh, chainsaw, huh? Probably a hangout for the lumber industry.
Yeah, that was a good joke.
They go inside, and it's obviously a punk club. Like there's a punk show going on.
It's definitely punk.
A lot of people with those leather vests and like pins in their face and all that stuff before it was even a thing. He goes, look out, enemies of America. Here comes our friend, Private First Class Bill Dauterive.
No, I think it's funny he calls him I know he's not calling them enemies of America, but that's how like I interpreted it. Like he walks into the room, look out, enemies of America.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just a bunch of punk rock kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dale says, the man, yeah. And Hank's like, to Bill, dang old man. And then you can tell they're starting to get a little tipsy.
A little bit, yeah.
A little tipsy. Hank says, play the gambler. Come on, play the game. He's shouting this at a punk band like they're going to play the gambler. You gotta know when to hold them. Gotta know when to fold them.
Gotta know when to hold them. Know when to fold them.
Bill.
Yeah, they could do a punk rock version.
He goes, every time I go in a hardware store and the guy says, okay, here's your bill, I'm going to say, no, it's not. This is my bill. And when he says that, he puts his arm out and he kind of spills a drink.
Yeah,
and it
drunk.
spills on one of the big guys over there, with like he's got like the freedom spikes and the whole thing on his head. Hey, jackass, how'd you like to lose that finger? He goes, whoa there, you watch your language around G.I. Bill. And he pokes him. When that happens, a bunch of the punks start coming like they're going to go at Hank, right?
Yeah.
And Bill, this guy, he comes across with a punch, and Bill catches the punch. Right, he catches it.
Solid
right there.
catches it. Yeah.
This is not.
This isn't present and future Bill. This
again is not the Bill who had a couch on his head. No,
yeah.
this is
William.
This is Bill Dozer.
Yeah, this is William Dozer here.
Yeah. And Bill is just so calm, looking at this guy, and he goes, "All right, take it easy, friend. Aren't we all just here to rock?" And then Hank looks at him and goes, "This is exactly what Bill would do now."
Yeah, for sure.
Hank would be the one saving him. And he goes, Bill starts holding these guys back from getting on him and just killing them. He goes, Boomhauer, get Hank out of here. And so they get out. And now we're back to the current times. And Hank says, so Bill saved my butt and I never even thanked him. He goes, oh, yes, you did, man. And then we go back to the flashback. Hank is drunk on the street. Dale is throwing up.
Really drunk.
Dale is just puking his guts out. And we hear Bill say, Boomhauer, stick with Hank. It's going to be a while with Dale. Dale goes, I had a big dinner. And he's just still throwing up and stuff. And then Hank says, I tried to join up too, but they didn't take me. Narrow urethra, points to his wiener. He goes, Bill. And he sees a tattoo place that they're next to. Boomhauer's like, hey, man, no, man, no. And then we see no shirt Hank in the tattoo chair. He goes, big letters, here to here, Bill, B-I-L-L, Bill. And then he passes out. Tattoo guy's just like, all right.
Tattoo guy's like, well, I kind of got to honor it. He paid for it. He's getting a tattoo. I don't know where he's going to get it, but he's getting one.
Boomhauer says, hey, man, dangle passed out cold, man. Let's let it go, man. He goes, I accepted his money. He's getting his ink. He goes, dang it. Oh, okay, man, but let's not across the dang old chest, man. Find some place where dang old sun don't shine. Now we come back to current times.
Yeah.
And Boomhauer's still talking. He says, I've been talking about it like I thought you never know, man. A dang old lice threw in that dang old curveball, man. Just like got dang old Sandy Koufax, man. Sandy Koufax was a pitcher.
Also was a inspiration for the name Sonny Koufax for the lead character that Adam Sandler played in the movie Big Daddy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sonny Koufax,
okay.
Sandy Koufax. It was kind of like a nod towards him.
Sandy was a Yankee or a Met, one or the other. Had to be one or the other because of that name.
I would think he was a Dodger.
But it was probably Brooklyn Dodgers. I bet.
At one point, yeah.
Yeah.
He was there for the switch.
We are
Brooklyn to L.A.
We are in current times again. We're in Boomhauer's house, and Hank says, "Yeah, I guess I forgot all about the Bill that Bill used to be. I ought to kick my own ass." Here's your shitty Peggy moment. The real surprise here is that those poor lice could ever have survived off your cold, cold blood.
Oh, damn.
Damn it, woman. Come on. That's just a shitty thing to say. Hey, there's Artie. He says Dodger. Yep.
Definitely not.
All right, so we're at the police station. Bill is putting on a sock puppet show in the cell. Dr. Milford, be straight with me. What have I got? It's a heart murmur. Tune in tomorrow. Oh, the guys in the cell are all like, oh, no, what happens? A heart murmur. I mean, you're putting on a puppet show with your socks, and one of the main points of this puppet show is that one of the puppets has a heart murmur.
Yeah.
To see the doctor.
Great writing from the staff room. Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Says convention coming soon. How hyped are you guys? Very hyped. So hyped that I told you it was last week. So, it'll be this Thursday is when we're actually going.
And, yes, we're starting earlier these days because it's 9:43 a.m. for you, but it's 9:43 p.m. for me.
Yeah, Rusty started a job where he works overnights, and so we're having to start a little earlier. But, you can always catch us here. All right, so we hear Bill telling the guys, come on, fellas, you got to be patient now. And then cellmate number one, the one that originally asked him, are you feeling okay? He goes, man, jail was a lot less fun before you got here. And then the cop comes up and says, William Dotrieve, time for your court appearance. Now we go over to court, and we hear the judge say, William Dotrieve, $50 fine, don't do it again, you're free to go, pay on your way out. And, I mean, that's it, right? He just needed to sleep it off in the drunk tank is basically all it was. You pay the $50, you're out. And Hank, he sees Hank come into court, and he is still pissed off about the fact that Hank hung up on him. He goes, excuse me, Your Honor, what if I don't pay the fine? All right, if you can't pay you oh, my God, what happened to my mouth? He goes, if you can't pay, you have to spend 2 days in jail. He goes, well, I'm not paying. And you hear Hank just, what? And then you hear the judge say, whatever, 2 days in jail. He goes, thank you. And then he goes, Bill, what the heck are you doing? What do you want? Did you come back to mock me? Hank says, no, Bill, I came to help. He goes, well, you're a little late. I'm hanging up on you like you did to me, and I might stay here longer than 2 days. I'll commit another crime. Hell, I'll tell them I'm the North Side burglar. They'll lock me up and throw away the key. That'll show you. Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, geez, right?
That's crazy, Bill. Chill out.
Hank says, come on, Bill, you're being crazy. He goes, bailiff, escort me to my home, please. My home. He goes, hey, I got an idea. He's talking to the bailiff. He goes, hey, you tell the guys that I'm back in the cell that I got electrocuted, and then I'll jump out and surprise them. What a great plan, Bill. He goes, Bill, no,
that's an
Bill,
insane plan.
wait. And that is going to take us to our second commercial break. We will take that, and we will be right
back.
There it is.
OsleyMD.com.
I've always had thin hair my whole life. It breaks off at a certain length. In the last 6 months, I've noticed it just really bad. I mean, you could totally see it. I wear a hat a lot. I tried several different products. My experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
OsleyMD.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level while protecting your bike's delicate finish. Developed by our mad developer Alex and tested by riders, our products are made by riders for riders. Discover more at us.muc-off.com, where we break the mold to bring you the best in bike care.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator. All right, and we are back.
And we're back.
Rusty was just telling me about his new job and how it's very late at night, but he does very well with it.
Yeah, they pay pretty good.
So we are at the police station. Hank goes up to the guy at the receiving desk or whatever you want to call it. And he goes, "Officer, I demand to see Bill Dotrieve immediately. If necessary, I'll be happy to fill out the proper paperwork." So he demands.
He's like, "I want to see him now,
but
I'll submit whatever I need to submit." Yeah.
The cop says, "Mr. Dotrieve is refusing to see visitors. He was quite specific. He goes, I am not leaving this station until I get to see my friend." He goes, "Sir, we really don't do well with threats around here."
Yeah, this isn't a place for bargaining.
You don't want to go threaten a cop at the police station. The funny thing about this place is, like, there's the desk where they receive everybody or whatever, and then right down a hall it says "lock up" real big right above the door there. And so Hank screams down the hall, Bill, I need to talk to you." And you hear from behind the door, "Go away." And then the cellmate, you hear, "Yeah, go away." He goes, "Who are you?" He goes, "Who are you? Now get lost. We're busy." And then you hear,
"There's a hole in the bottom of the sea."
That's right.
"There's a leg on the frog on the bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a leg on a frog on the bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea."
And then outside of the jail cell, there's a little guy.
I always hated those.
Really? Oh, those sing-along things?
Of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only one I liked was "Down by the bay where the watermelon grows."
Oh, yeah.
"Back to my home."
I also don't like singing in rounds, like where they do "row, row, row your boat," and then another group starts "row, row, row your boat," all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
I don't like that.
Or "Heads Up, 7 Up," all that crap. I don't really
Rusty
like all
says
that.
great song.
Yeah. No, I hated all that crap. I'd rather read a book. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah, I didn't really like that. It seems like forced camaraderie, and I've never been a fan of trying to force me to be friends with somebody else or play along.
Yeah, it's
thing.
like, I don't.
If it's natural and it just happens, like, honestly, here in this jail cell, that's natural, right? They're just trying to pass time and get along, right? But
at school, like, as a kid, it's like, I don't even like these kids under normal conditions. Let alone under these special circumstances.
You got that right. So you see a little guy over there talking to a couple of the cops, and all I wrote down was meth head, because he kind of looks like a meth head.
He does look like a meth head.
He's very short, he's very shaky, he's very skinny, and he looks like this guy. Got any more of that crack? That guy. He goes, "Yeah, the fat one keeps saying he might be ready to cop up to those B&Es. The cop says, "Yeah, you want your pizza?" The guy shakes his head. He goes, "Well, work on him till you get a confession." Man, that sucks. A forced confession based on some pizza to a meth head is what you're saying, just so you can solve the crime.
That's pretty bad.
Woo, boy.
That's implicating yourself in a crime yourself, I'm sure.
Right. And then Hank is out on the steps. He's really depressed because he doesn't know how to see Bill, doesn't know how to make it up to him. And some cops come out of the police station, and he overhears them talking. He goes, "The fat bald guy in T-shirt wants to confess to all his burglaries on the north side." Another one says, "Really?" He goes, "So Hollywood Dotrieve wants to start doing some hard time." Hank runs over to a payphone, and he calls Peggy and goes, "Peggy, don't save dinner for me tonight. I'll explain everything later. But right now, I'm afraid I have to break the law." I mean, there's another one of those pregnant pauses that comes in at the right moment.
He's like, "I've got to break the law."
He goes over and
breaking the law. Breaking the law.
The little Judas Priest for you. He goes over and he sees a cop writing a ticket on a car, and so Hank, being Hank, thinks, "Oh, here's the perfect crime. I'm going to walk against the don't walk sign that comes up, so I'm going to jaywalk, basically, is what I'm going to do." The cop sees it. He just goes, "Nyeh," and just leaves. He doesn't want to write a ticket for that.
Like, no, I'm good on that.
It's insane. Yeah. And so then you see Hank come up to a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven or Circle K or whatever. He's looking inside. It's the In-N-Out, I believe is what it is. And he sees two cops in there getting Slurpees or Ices or whatever. He comes in the door, looks straight at the cops, takes his shirt off, and says, "I believe I'm in violation of the law. Go ahead and arrest me." Because they had a sign that said no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Yeah.
And the cop says, "Sir, that's not officially a law."
Yeah, it's store policy.
Cashier says, "Yeah, it's just store policy, but I don't enforce it. I'm not even wearing shoes back here."
Yeah.
Thing. All right, then we go into we see Hank. He goes and runs into a cop car with his truck right in front of the police station.
And that'll do it.
That finally does it for him.
That'll do
Yep.
it.
And this woman cop comes up and gets him and puts his arms behind him and shoves him up against the jail cell. And she goes, "You scratched the bumper sticker from my daughter's school, jackass." And then
that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, that's a good joke.
And then we see the meth head. Or you see him go into the thing.
Yeah.
There's only one guy in his cell, and the guy's just like, "Hey, brother." So it's pretty sad, honestly. And then he hears in the cell next to him where Bill is, he hears the meth head talking to Bill going, "Yeah, guards, let me have a tape recorder in here. You want to hear what your confession would sound like just for fun?" What kind of game is that?
Yeah, that's a horrible
That's
game. That's like Russian roulette. Yeah.
Bill says, "I appreciate that. I just don't want it to sound too rehearsed." Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Hank starts shouting at him from the next cell over. He goes, "Bill, hey, Bill." He goes, "Hank, what are you doing in here?" "I came to help you. Don't confess." He goes, "Well, why should some criminal get to go to jail and make me go back to my lousy life without any friends?" Bill's just thinking of this because he's enjoying himself in jail, honestly.
He's got friends.
He's got quote-unquote friends.
Yeah,
he's popular.
Friends.
Yeah. He goes, "I'm your friend, Bill." He goes, "Prove it." He goes, "Prove it? I've been your friend for 20 – this takes a dark turn, by the way. He goes, "Prove it. I've been your friend for 25 years. Who talked you out of buying the houseboat? Who kept you from killing yourself after Lenore left you?" Jesus, that's a big one, right?
Well, it is a big one. Yeah, that's definitely a big one.
Kept you from killing yourself. Who listens to you for hours after you've had a nightmare? And I'm happy to do it because we're friends. Heck, I even got myself arrested just so I could come talk to you. He goes, "Huh. Yeah, and it really turns out I also had your name tattooed on the back of my head." He goes, "Really?" He gets very excited. "Let me see it." Yeah. Hardy says Bill's in jail camp. That's exactly right. That's exactly where he's at. He goes, "Really? Let me see it." He goes, "Actually, I just kind of had it removed. Very painful process. Not because it wasn't a great tattoo, but," he goes, "Guard, I want to confess now." Like he just knows Hank's full of shit. He just wants to keep moving. Hank kind of touches his head in the back, and he goes, "Oh, dang." And he looks over at his cell mate, and he goes, "Sir, do you think I could have a moment of your time?" The next thing we see is the cellmate with Hank is giving Hank a tattoo back on the back of his head.
Yeah, he's putting Bill back on his head.
Yeah. Yep, and he's doing it with a safety pin. So if you don't know anything about those kind of
stick
tattoos,
and poke. Yeah.
Yeah. Ink poke, poke, poke. You just got to keep poking at it and getting that ink under the skin. That is a painful way to get a tattoo right there.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, no thank you. And he goes, "Gosh, that's smart." He goes, "If you want, I can frame it with barbed wire or snakes." I mean, either way, he's got both.
Yeah,
barbed wire
or snakes.
Yeah, either way. Later, Hank is trying to get over at Rusty says they saved each other at one time or another. That's absolutely right. It's just hard to remember with Bill because he's just such a sad sack, you know. It just gets on their nerves.
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough to deal with, period.
With his chamber pot and his porn in the ground. Later, he's calling over to Bill. He goes, "Bill, hey, Bill." He goes, "Now what? You still got that mirror?" He goes, "Oh, look at that." He sticks the mirror out past the bars so he can see the back of Hank's head, and he sees it, and it is bad, by the way.
It's not a good tattoo.
It is real shaky, and it's got a little happy face over the eye.
Yeah,
right?
a little smiley face. That's
he
funny.
goes, "Well, look at that. I especially like the smiley face over the eye." He sees it in the mirror, and he goes, "Wow, that must have been incredibly painful." He goes, "Yep." Bill goes, "Yep." And so now we know that they're good with each other, right? But we also know that Hank is going to live with this shitty tattoo on the back of his head for the rest of his life. God, I hope they bring that up in the last two seasons.
Yeah, it'd be
That'd
nice
be great.
to see it again. Yeah,
Oh,
see what
I
it
would
looks
love
like.
that.
I hope they do.
Well, if Hank's hair ever turns gray, maybe you can see through it.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
see it on his scalp or whatever.
Or they erase it from the. Yeah.
Later, Hank is asleep on the cot. He's got a sandwich on the floor next to him, which I'm sure the sandwiches in jail are great. And a cop comes through, and he's talking to Bill, and he goes, "Look like you're out early on good behavior." I don't know that that's a thing, for a guy who got thrown in jail for being a drunk.
I don't think so.
But whatever. Hank hears this, and he goes, "If good behavior is a factor here, I cleaned the toilets and made the beds." Of course you did. Sit down, Baldy. Your court date's not till noon. Bill looks at all his friends that he made, and he goes, "Well, fellas, looks like this is it." And then the cellmates all respond. It's like, "I promised myself I wasn't going to cry."
They're all choking up and getting teary-eyed.
Yeah. "Gee, Bill, but look at me now." And then he comes over and says something to Hank, who's in the next cell. He goes, "Hank, if you want, I can get myself locked up again to keep you company till noon." I mean, he would do that too, honestly.
He would.
He absolutely
would. He's you could kick Bill, but he's like a dog.
He's like a
you kick him, but he's still gonna come on to you.
He's like a roach, It's like no matter what happens to him, he's coming back, right? He goes, No, you paid your debt to society, Bill. Now I'll pay mine." He goes, "All right then." Okay. He leaves. He signs out, and as he's signing, the cop says, "Mr. Dauterive, you're free to go," because he just sits right down next to the cop there, on the bench where you're waiting.
Yep.
He goes, "Oh, that's okay. I'm waiting on a friend." And then that's how we fade out. He's just sitting there waiting for Hank, which is kind of sweet, honestly.
Well, it is kind of sweet, yeah.
Yep.
And there's a hole.
After the credits, you hear there's a hole.
There's a hole in the bottom of the sea.
That's it. That's it. And that is season 7. Episode 19 or 7ABE12, Be True to Your Fool. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a really good one.
Which is
Artie says, "I wonder
play
if Bill."
On the title is a play on a title of the Beach Boys song, "Be True to Your School."
Yeah.
And the song that's playing in the bar scene, I forgot to mention this, in the punk rock band is a censored version of the Dead Kennedy song, "Nazi Punks."
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Nazi Punks Must Die? Is that it?
No, Nazi Punks, fuck off.
Oh, okay.
Nazi Punks, Nazi Punks, Nazi Punks, fuck off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Artie says he's wondering if Bill will be medicated for depression in the new episodes, which is very good.
And you're right about the bookstore, the liquor trunk. Yeah.
Rusty says getting close to season 8. Wow. Yep, you're absolutely right. We're getting there. And I would assume we're going to get through maybe 3-4 more episodes, and then the new ones will come out. So I don't know what we're going to do as far as that goes. We may have to start handling new episodes on Fridays or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out, though. But
I think we should shift the new episodes to Monday and then do the old episodes on Fridays.
Possibly. Yeah, we might do something like that. If you guys have any suggestions, let us know. But right now, I just want to thank you guys for hanging on with us and being here every time and being the greatest fans that we could ever ask for. We will be in Austin this weekend finally covering the ATX TV Festival.
Yes.
And just get ready. Follow our social accounts because I will be sending some stuff out on those. I'll
be whatever you send out for King of the Hill stuff.
Yeah.
Just send to me and I'll post on all the socials too.
And then I'm hoping that we get a little bit of footage that I can also post on Friday.
Hopefully something.
And I mean, if we get something on Thursday, I'll post it. Just kind of hang on this weekend, starting on Thursday, and we'll start posting some stuff. That is my pledge to you. I will post anything I have. It'll be myself. I'll be there the whole 3-4 days. Sheridan will come down and help us, and then Rusty's coming on Friday, and then if we can get an interview, he'll come back on Saturday. But there's a lot of stuff going on. So even if I post some stuff, it may not all strictly be King of the Hill related, but you'll get a bunch of stuff from ATX TV Festival. So we're looking forward to it.
The ATX TV Festival.
All right. If they want to follow us, how are they going to do that, and how are they going to get a hold of us?
Follow us at BWAAA. That's 3 A's. BWAAAKOTH @gmail.com is our email, and BWAAAKOTH is everywhere on social media.
That's
so
it.
There you go.
That's it. And I believe that leaves us with just one thing left to say.
A good god dang old Wimatanye.
And what I like to say is Wimatanye indeed. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.